All right, welcome everybody to another episode of PassionPod. My name is Carlos Velasco, and I am the producer of the Black Dagger Brotherhood.
Hi, I'm Tosca Musk, and I'm the CEO and founder of Passionflix and also the director of the Black Dagger Brotherhood.
And today we have a special guest. I don't know if when you walked in, Tosca, but there was a little different aroma in the air.
I know, it's like a strange, sweet baby powder sort of smell.
On today's episode, we have Mr. X, Darrell Snedeger.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course.
It's so nice to see you.
Yeah.
So you said this was your first podcast?
It is.
Oh my gosh. Well, there's a lot of pressure on them for you.
By your second one, you'll be hosting.
Exactly. That's basically how it is.
I don't know if I would be the best host. But no, I'm super happy to be here, and I'm very flattered that you invited me.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing since we wrapped the Black Dagger Brotherhood?
Man, I've had a lot of big life changes, but it's been good. I'm a photographer as well. I do a lot of like headshots and stuff, so that's been driving me and keeping me busy. And I teach acting as well, so that's been keeping me busy. And I have 4 animals. I have 2 bunnies and 2 dogs. That's been keeping me really busy. So
it feels like it's like everything not Mr. Xy.
I know, right? It's very, I know people, whenever I tell anyone I have bunnies, they're like, you have bunnies? What are you doing with bunnies?
They're the cutest bunnies, by the way. I'm sure we'll get a video of them, but they're
You've
so
seen
cute.
them?
Oh, you just showed them me.
Oh, that's so great.
Yeah, they're very cute. They're a lot of work, but they are amazing. Yeah.
So we're here with Mr. X.
So we're here with Mr. X. Can you tell us a little bit about your character, Mr. X? The fans are dying to know.
Yeah. Well, he's not a good guy. He is definitely not a good guy. But there was so much more to him that I really connected to, like that very first scene that we did, like the pain of not being human and wanting to like have some kind of connection and wanting love and wanting all these things that we get to have as human beings, but has been taken from him and replaced with like this hate and this malice and all these things. That part of it was really, really fun to connect to and really beautiful, I felt like.
Which scene was that?
The very first one with Billy in the office where I'm putting on the jewelry and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. It was so good.
Yeah.
That's such a great scene.
Yeah.
And it's just so like slowly done. Well, you all see it in the future. You can't see it now, but you'll see it in the future.
No spoilers.
If you read the book, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
That was a good scene. I enjoyed that. How was it for you transforming into the character, becoming, your entire look changed, right?
Yeah.
So the hair was white, the eyebrows white, the eyes changed, the skin changed. How was that for you?
It made being Mr. X a lot easier. That's for sure. I remember when I first got the hair done and my friends saw me and they were like, oh my God, they couldn't believe it. It was so different and such a departure from like anything I've ever done. So much so, there would be times when like people would be coming into class or that hadn't seen me for a minute and they would walk straight by me, not even know who I was, and didn't even recognize me. It's crazy. But yeah, everything about the transformation really allowed for just a more groundedness into who this person was. And it really, looking into the mirror and seeing that or seeing like an image on the monitor, it settled me into like who this person, where they were coming from and how the world saw them.
Yeah.
And through that, it just made it so much easier to slip into his energy and his feel.
Yeah. Because one of the things that I love about how you play Mr. X is you just have this ability to kind of just do this one side smile thing.
Little
like,
smize.
You're just like, and it was so evil every time. But when I see you as you,
Yeah.
it just it doesn't look like that. Obviously, it's not the character, but it was just so perfect as Mr. X. And every time you're like, I mean, he's smiling. I think. I'm not really sure what to go with that, but it was so scary.
Sorry, I'm just sweating. I'm sitting next to Mr. X. Jesus. That's one of the things that I found is a lot of the fans on social media are surprised of how good looking Mr. X is. They're finding it to be creepy and attractive all in one. So my apologies for being a little warm.
That's all right.
No, but it's absolutely true because, when Gerald Ward told me about Mr. X, the person that she has in mind for Mr. X is a very good-looking man. He's a silver fox, and so when she told me her preference for the look of Mr. X, I was like, oh, I was initially thinking a little more like creepy milkman type thing, you know what I mean? And but it's like a strong, attractive, yet weird, obviously the pigment's all gone from his skin and he's, got something very creepy behind those contact lenses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that Mr. X is an attractive man. It's great. It makes it creepier.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because people with this packaging, like you have a certain idea, right, around how they should be or how they should move through the world. And it's like when they don't do that, it's like it's even more engaging sometimes.
Totally. Absolutely.
Talk to me a little bit about the casting process. I guess what drew you to Darrell? And I guess from your side, what did you do to prepare? And did you know about the Black Dagger Brotherhood series?
Well, so I was struggling to find the right Mr. X because of the very uniqueness of the character. And also you have to be attractive and you have to be able to play creepy, but in a way that's kind of like you can believe him, like those, true psychopaths.
I love
the likable ones.
In a kind way. I'm saying that in a nice way. And so I worked with our casting director, Lindsay Shagg, who's done a lot of casting for us. And she knows you.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I have a good friend and I think this is the one for you. And I was like, okay, great. And then I was like, oh yeah, great, done. Done. That's it. Make it happen. And that's basically how it happened.
And what was your process for?
Well, obviously, like reading the books, getting familiar with the history and everything. But after that, connecting to his humanity, because I feel like, you can approach any kind of villain as the stereotype, the archetype, like the people who you just think are just terrible people. But there's so much behind the motivation of what makes them terrible that I really wanted to connect to and get into that made justified, and it makes all that stuff, all the bad things that you do more not as a horrible thing in your mind. You're just you're going through it no, this is what I need to do in order to achieve my goal because this is what I believe in.
Yeah, less two-dimensional.
Yeah.
And more full.
Yeah.
Full 4 dimensions.
Yeah. No, it's just, and every human being is like that. Every character is like that. But with Mr. X, it's just that much more fun because not only are you connecting to all this humanity and past and history, but then you get to apply it in this super devious way that is such a departure from anything that I live. And so
it's not bunnies.
No, absolutely not.
Bunnies and dogs.
Yeah. And so being able to explore this side of being a human that never would happen in my life is just such a treat. It's such a pleasure to find where that lives inside you and then push into it.
Yeah. I remember you telling me just, going back to the look and the hair, you told me that you booked a commercial.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh yeah. So, I don't ever book commercials. Like, it's crazy. I don't, like, it's been a really long time. And just so happened that there was like this like fashion, like New York fashionista scene. And that white hair, I just spiked that shit up and just like tried to be as like pompous and erudite as I could. And it worked. And I got the commercial, and it was so much fun because I got to work with people that had known me before, and they saw me and they're like, what is going on? What are you doing with your hair? And yeah, it was fun to mess with people and be like, this is just my new look. You know, this is what I like to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it worked. And it's really funny because you showed me a picture from that commercial, and I was like, yeah, you totally do look like a New York fashionista type person, which is also a little scary. That's what, but I guess that's how Mr. X can go about in the world, because if you're looking at him and with the white hair and you're like, oh, but you look like a New York fashionista, well, then I guess people wouldn't really find Mr. X so creepy.
Yeah.
You know?
I asked my agent after we wrapped, I was like, can I just keep this hair for just a little bit? He's like, no. No, we're getting rid of it. So.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll go back to it in the future. Yeah. You get to do it again.
I wanted to touch a little bit on that. Tosca actually posted not too long ago on her Instagram, on her stories. If you're not following her, follow her and follow Passionflix. But it was about, I think it was Cillian Murphy talking about how his time as an actor and how involved he is throughout the entire process. And then you're working. And then when you're done with this project, you're all of a sudden just done. How was that process for you once you were with us for
9 weeks.
9 weeks.
Almost. Yeah.
So how was that coming from you? What's your process to decompress, to kind of come out of that character? Because you're not Mr. X, but yet you wanted to keep that hair.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was fortunate that it was right next to the holidays. So got to spend time with family and got to spend time with just connecting to people. The decompression or the slipping out of Mr. X isn't as like hard, I guess, because it's just like, it's an energy, it's like a feeling that we connect to, and it's a feeling that I like, for whatever reason. I don't know if this is probably gonna make me sound bad, but it's like, it's not that hard to feel in where he's at. And so the transition out wasn't as bad. It's more of like the routine of going to set and the feeling of working and collaborating and seeing all these people that like you're having such a good time with and you're really enjoying being there. That part of it is like, oh, I miss that. Like, I miss seeing everybody and I miss hanging out with everybody and I miss working. And that part of it is like where you kind of feel the need or that like little void inside you.
Yeah, it is. When you work on set, especially for such long periods of time, you're working so closely with people and it's very intense. You're working 12, 13, 14 hours a day. It's very long. But when you're working so intensely with people, you form this bond, because you are like, we're going to get through. It's good. We're making something great. And you just sort of are on this train. And then suddenly the train just comes to a stop. It just stops. Boom. And everyone's gone. And it can be a little discombobulating.
Jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little jarring because you're like, oh, what's going on? And so you've been riding this energy wave, as you were saying, energy, but it's like you're riding this energy wave for so long and your adrenaline is up, like running a marathon. And then it's over and everyone's gone. And you're like, I don't really know what to do right now. It's, I should just, sit. I guess I should take a break. What's everyone doing?
Yeah.
And you kind of want to reach out and you're like, no, that's kind of weird. I should not reach out to everyone. But, Guy, how are you doing?
Yeah.
But it's this strange drop. And then you have to slowly find your way back to being a regular person. Mm-hmm. You have to, in the regular world, people wake up at this time and they go to sleep at this time. And we're not vampires who work at night and don't see anybody during the day. And your children have grown. You have to you have to just, it takes a
Reintegrate.
while to reintegrate. I think for me, the thing that helps me the most on this one, because I've felt that on every single film that we do, and it's sad. But the thing for me on this one is that, firstly, all of the brothers are getting together and hanging out, which makes me so happy.
Yeah.
And we'll all hang out at the premiere together. And so it's just so nice so that you can see like that camaraderie still exists. So it's not gone. And we get to do this again. So we get to come back. So this family is not over. So every movie that you do, like the family's over. Like that experience is over. Those people we won't work with in that sort of situation again. But in this situation, it's not. So we get to come back. We get to do it again. Everyone's going to be in the same roles. Be like, okay, white hair. We know that. We know the drill.
Yeah.
And we know the characters. And I think even in season 2, it's going to be even better, even richer, because we'll have those. We'll have a solid chemistry between all of the, like a true life chemistry, because you guys will know each other so much better. So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
But we get to do it again.
Yeah. Not gonna lie, whenever I would see those guys posting pictures together, all the brothers, I would be like, I want to be working out with them. Like, I want to hang out with them too. But I know it's like, I barely, I mean, all my scenes would only be with Robert or something. So like I would see the guys on set or like in passing and stuff, but didn't get to have that like same kind of camaraderie and connection. But yeah, that was the funny part of it.
Yeah, you will at the premiere and then next season.
Yeah.
Tell us, how was it working with Robert? You guys were in a lot of scenes together. How is that dynamic?
Man, I cannot give that man enough credit, because not only was he amazing to work off of, but because of his experience and because of how much he's done, there were so many moments, especially in like the fight scene, where he would help with like, just give me certain, I guess, tips or like just little things to help with the performance or help with like the shot. And I just like was so appreciative of how gracious he was and how giving he was in those moments. And yeah, I really enjoyed meeting him and working with him and getting to know him better. 'Cause yeah, it was just an awesome experience to see someone who is working at a high level and not coming from a place of like, oh, who's this guy? Like, like he's going to figure it out. I'm not going to help him, like that kind of thing. But he's like very open and gracious with that.
He is so kind to work with. And he definitely, even for me as a director, you can get a lot of pushback from people. And that's not what it is. He takes everything. He's exceptionally professional, shows up, does the job, and helpful, very helpful with everybody.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. And it was great. I loved hearing how he was working with everybody, because he'd be like, little things like, kindly, not telling somebody what to do, but kind of like, if you do this, then the punch will land better, or whatever it is. But really excellent tips. And he is very, very talented, and he's done a lot of work. He's in Ballerina, the new Ballerina movie, the John Wick movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's coming
amazing.
out also in June. So get to see that.
It's exciting.
Yeah. I think he actually has hair like yours, the white hair.
Oh, cool.
In that one, he has white hair.
Oh, wow.
Second time
So he kind of looks like Mr. X.
Oh,
he's
wow.
Mr. X in Ballerina, and then he comes and he's like black hair. His hair is just constantly changing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
I thought you definitely stood your own, like, up against Robert. And did you have any fight choreography experience or any stunts prior to that? Or kind of what was your experience with the stunts going into Black Dagger Brotherhood?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't as extensive as Robert's, but I had a small amount. But I think just because of the way I train and the way I treat my body, I was able to pick it up pretty easily. And we had the best stunt choreographer ever.
We did.
Yeah, he was so amazing. And I just really, that part of marrying like athleticism with acting was so much fun for me. Like I got so much out of that. I enjoyed that so much because, acting is this thing that is very much internal, and we don't get to like use our bodies a lot of the times in certain ways. And so being able to use my body to tell story as well was like, oh my gosh, it was amazing. And yeah, I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn, but I felt like
you were great. You can tootle it.
I just, from the stunt guys are telling me like, that was really great.
It was excellent. It was really excellent. I had no idea you had limited stunt experience. So it was like, wow, well, that was easy. All right, done. Moving on. It was like, it was fantastic. Yeah.
It was amazing to see how many times we actually had stunt doubles for our talent on set, and they wouldn't even touch set. Our actors would just be like, no, I want to do it. Sia would do it himself, and it was just really cool to see all our talent stepping up and doing their own stunts. And I'm really looking forward to season 2 because there's a lot more action in season 2.
Yeah. Well, Chris Brewster, our stunt coordinator, who is amazing, trained with you guys so everything, all of the stunts were like a dance almost. Everybody knew the moves, and it was so beautifully done. And he was just so fantastic. Chris was in pre-vising everything. So he would come up with the whole idea with the stunt team, and they would show us the stunts, and then he would take the actors and he would teach them the moves that all of these guys did like a dance. It was excellent. It was so wonderful to work with him, and I'm glad you enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, that was my first introduction to all this, was like walking into that his gym that he has down there, and it's like I see like Robert and Sia in the corner, and they're like flipping their daggers around and like walking around, and they're all practicing. And I'm like, this is my first day. What is happening? Why are they so good? Like, did I miss something? Like, it was a little intimidating. And then, I got to work with Robert's stunt double, and we, learned all the moves and stuff, and that was just like such a pleasure, man. It was so incredible.
Yeah. I remember, so because Robert has done so many stunts, and we had a stunt double in, and so the stunt double would have to do some of the stunts because they would be quite dangerous. And Robert's like, I can do this one. And I was like, I'm sure you can, but I need you to show up tomorrow. You can't be hurt. I won't get hurt. And I was like, but you might get hurt. He goes, I won't get hurt. And so he actually did more stunts than he should have. But, the way that it works, you have to keep the actor safe. And then, and so you have a stunt double so that the actor can go show up tomorrow at work. But what did you think? Did you have a relationship with your stunt double?
Yeah. No, he was so cool. Yeah. That was so much fun. We really got to connect, and just through learning the moves together and feeling validation from him, like telling me I was doing good. Like, it was really fun. One funny story, I don't know if you remember this. There's like one sequence where like I swing and I miss him, and then we kind of have that standoff.
Yeah.
And Robert goes to like kick me, and we had been rehearsing like the kick just hits, and then I kind of like fall back. And there was one time where that kick went like a little too far, or I was like a little too like close to him, and it hit me in the chest, and I like flew back and fell on the ground, and then like stayed in character and jumped up and like had this whole moment. And I remember you came up to me right after that. You're like, that was the coolest.
So cool. It's in the show.
Yeah.
I did not know that he actually hit you.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. But it was very good.
It was great though, because I mean, they protected us with those like the pads and the whole plate right there. So it's not like it hurt or anything. But it was like, it was such a cool moment to be so in it.
Yeah.
And to have this thing happen that wasn't expected, but like just to elevate and heighten where I was at, and then to just roll with it and to go with it.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
Yeah. That's a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
You also had a lot of scenes with Billy Riddle. I was working with RJ.
RJ was awesome. Yeah. There's like a part of me that because of like the dynamic of the relationship, like I had to like not stop myself, but like I didn't want to parent him. Like I didn't want to like be his dad or like be the person who's like trying to tell him what to do or anything. But he him and I had actually, like, he had done headshots with me before, so we had a personal relationship prior to it, and so that really helped, like, getting to know him. And it was just so funny. Every time we'd be in a scene, he'd look over at me and he'd be like, oh, God. He'd be so scared. Like, he's like, God, you look so fucking creepy right now. And I'd be like, yeah, that's what I get. I loved playing with him in that way because it was fun to get a reaction out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was so good. He just played that character. He was so, again, another person I was so grateful for, an actor that comes to work fully prepared, very much so in character. But he's really just like a fun, happy-go-lucky guy. Like, he's like, hi, everybody, with big smiles. And I'm like, okay, now you're going to go and, try and kill someone.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay.
Yep.
So yeah, it was great. But Mr. X and Billy, he is kind of like a father figure to Billy, so it does work.
Yeah. No, it was that, like, the off-screen stuff that I was like trying to like be his buddy, like trying to connect to him as like a person rather than like,
Yeah, this is how we do things.
Yeah, exactly.
Eat your vegetables. Yeah.
What excites you the most about being a part of the Black Dagger Brotherhood universe?
It has to be the fans, man. Like, the fans are so incredible. The response has been so incredible. That is something that's new to me. And so just seeing how much love and how much, like, investment these people have into the series, and I get it because, like, I'm a huge fantasy fan, and there's books that I'm very much into, that if I saw those characters being portrayed and the actors that were portraying them, I would feel so much connection to them, and I would really like have that type of relationship. So that being able to be on the other side of it and being able to be the person that people see as this character it's really incredible. Like, that part of it has been like, I don't know, it's a dream, because it's like, as an actor, we do these things, and a lot of the times someone might see it and someone might recognize you, or someone might like give you some acknowledgement for it. But like, the fact that there's like thousands and thousands and thousands of people out there like knowing this and seeing it is just it's really humbling and really really beautiful. Yeah,
millions actually all around the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And now your mom's one of them.
Yep. Yeah. And they just got the internet for the first time in their entire lives. Because,
your parents?
Yes. Oh my God. So where I grew up, they couldn't get the internet, and so they just moved to Utah, and I went out there and helped them get settled and stuff and set up the internet for the first time for them. So now they can watch it. Now they can actually stream something. So
oh my God. It's quite surprising that
yeah, it was like, there was options of like satellite and all these other things, but it was just like astronomical in terms of pricing, and they're older, so they're like, we don't need it.
So speaking of the fans, a lot of them are going to be at the premiere. So what do you think that's going to be like? Like, they're going to be like, I think over 200, more than that maybe, fans at the premiere who are super excited to meet you.
Yeah. I'll probably be a little overwhelmed. But it's so like I was saying before, it's just, it's so humbling and so like such a good feeling to have someone not know you and still have such a desire and want to try to make a connection. And I don't know. I think that's really special, and I think that's really cool. And I'm excited to meet everyone and
yeah, they love you. So it's really going to be 200 people who are like, oh my God, it's Darrell, it's Mr. X. We got to take a picture, and they're going to be so excited to see you. Yeah, they truly love you. It's fantastic.
I hope they're not disappointed with my not white hair.
Oh, I was like, I thought with the carrot, I was like, definitely not. And with the not white hair, no, they're going to love it. They're like, oh.
Yeah, I know, right? No, I'm really looking forward to it. And my birthday is like right around the corner, like during that weekend. So that's going to be even more exciting. So yeah.
Yeah. The premiere is going to be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
We were obviously together for about 45 days. What was some of your favorite moments behind the scenes?
So one of my favorite moments that I thought was just like, this is what acting is. This is what the industry is. It was one of the nights that we were at the cabin and we were doing the fight scene, and I had worked like earlier on in the night, and there was a big chunk of time in between like my next scene, and it was like going to my trailer at like, I don't know, 10, maybe 11, and then just at that point, like sleeping in my trailer, and get this knock on the door. It's probably like 2 a.m. Hey, Darrell, can you come back to set? We're gonna do this one quick little scene. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Just waking up. All right, let's get ready for this. And they're like, all right, so yeah, you're gonna block this punch, and then you're gonna do this uppercut, and then you're gonna do all this. And I'm like, okay, all right. Like, I feel like I need to be a little bit more awake for this, but let's do it. That part, that was like such a like eye-opening experience. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was definitely. I mean, those nights at the barn. We were shooting here in Georgia, and it's so hot here, except those nights. Those nights, and it was the beginning of October. It was middle October. And normally it's like so hot around Halloween, like people are too hot in their Halloween costumes. And it was like some cold snap came and we were outside. I had 2 winter coats on with heaters, and it was so cold.
Yeah.
And so thanks again.
Yeah, of course. It's my pleasure.
Let's do it again.
Yes.
Soon.
So obviously you were involved and you were with us for 45 days, and we filmed so many different scenes. And is there any scene that you're excited to see? Any particular scene that you haven't seen that you want to see?
Yeah. It's hard to pick because I really loved that scene with Billy, that very first scene. But I'm so excited for that fight scene. It is very good. I'm so excited to see that fight scene because, yeah, all the work and all the, preparation that went into it really felt so good to have it come together in such a good way. And that was my first fight scene of that scale, and I felt really proud of how I felt in it. So that is probably like the thing I'm looking forward to most, for sure.
Yeah. Episode 6, that will be coming out, I think, at the beginning of July. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been like really awesome to reconnect. Because even when we're working on set, we don't spend that much time chit-chatting.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, great. This is character. Go. Action. You look great. Perfect. Good scene. Here's a note. Yeah. Great. Perfect. And we're done. And then you move on to the next. So this has been really good. Thank you so much for chatting with us.
Of course. No, it's my pleasure to be here. And I just, like I said in the beginning, very flattered to be here. And like, it's been such a pleasure working with you, and had so much fun on set, and you've been amazing. And it's like, always count on you. And like the fact that like you were always that guy I can like go to on set, like that really meant a lot.
I appreciate that. Again, when you're working, you don't really get to build these relationships at all. So it's really nice to be able to see you outside of that, because when we touch base, you're just nonstop. You're going. And you also don't want to take away from your talent and you being in character. So I'm really looking forward to having some fun during the premiere.
Yeah, me too.
That wraps up this episode of Passion Pod, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Whether you're Team Brotherhood or secretly rooting for the Lessers, we're glad that you tuned in. If you got questions, hot takes, or want to hear your voice on a future episode, give us a call at 770-648-3677 and leave us a message. You might just end up on the show. Or if you prefer email us, you could shoot us a message at info@passionflix.com. And thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.